All right, so some of you who have been following this Fat Tozan restoration is quite involved. It's quite an involved restoration. When a flute has been opened, the crack for many years, when you bind it, there's going to be pressure on the other side of the crack. So I'm starting to see very hairline cracks, which I can't show you in this camera. Anyway, it's going to want to open on the other side, so here, but the bindings will keep it all in place. It's just going to show, and especially at the root here, even where it's very difficult, I put the two U nails inside, but on the other side, there's a crack opening up because just the pressure is now on the other side when it's being held. Anyway, it's sounding pretty good. I haven't done any other board work other than fill that little missing G plaster here. Let's give it a listen. You hear that pop? That's nice. Didn't, obviously that wasn't there when it first came. Now, I wonder if you can hear that. The roll got damp, right, from this. You hear that? That's kind of a muffled sound. Now, a lot of old flutes have that, and it depends on how the player wants, how the original maker played. And they didn't play like how I'm demonstrating. Maybe they played like this. Which is quite beautiful. Now, if you're to play at a level expected by contemporary players, you need more volume. The upper notes still sounded nice because the board was in a certain place for that. When I blew louder, you get some harmonics, some partials, and the resonance is still there. So it's chord-like, but resonant and vibrant. But when you get to the roll, I'm pushing it for a volume, and you get an interesting turbulence, which makes it a very interesting shakuhachi sound. But it's not a resonant sound that Westerners think of when they think about musical tones. So this is part of what makes the shakuhachi otherworldly, is that the tones don't match the Western ears. So depending on how the player plays, what the player's traditions are, desires of the player will sort of like figure out how to make the sounds work. But the most important thing is that the flute responds to the player in a friendly way that draws the player in and allows the player to grow, and actually invites the player to grow. So what I'm gonna do is finish the original board work. There's some broken plaster right here. I'm gonna fix and not change anything, just to see how the row is eventually affected without me changing any board diameters. Stay tuned.